Also, at Anime Expo every year, we try to introduce you to something new and fun and exciting to do, and we have something new and fun to tell you about. This year at Anime Expo, we will be having a new little show for you that you can participate in called Adventure. It is a stage show based out of LA, and they're going to be performing at Anime Expo. So let's take a look at a little trailer clip for Adventure. It's going to be so fun. I want to go on an adventure.
Yeah.
I want to go on an adventure right now. Let's go on the adventure. All right.
Young man, you are surrounded! Aren't they?
Don't look at me! Heretics are here! They are named Dada.
Truth is God, we are sworn. Let our party members be reborn. This way.
Hey! Go! Run! Oh! No! Run! Guards! I'm here!
Wow, that looks insane. To explain what Adventure is, we are joined in studio today by Mr. Michael T. Coleman, the creator of Adventure. How you doing, Mike?
Oh, I'm good. I'm
Awesome.
full. I had a nice sandwich.
I'm glad to hear that. So please explain to us, what did we just see? What exactly is Adventure?
Well, it's a stage show with many other people you saw were actors. We have a script. We rehearse the show. And then we decide to bring people from the audience into the show to ruin everything that we've prepared.
Okay, well, how exactly does that work? Like, how does the audience get involved with the show?
Well, if you want to be in the show, you fill out a little character card and come up with an idea for a character, anything. We've had all sorts of things like the Transformer, who is a transsexual transformer. We've had a guy who is a hologram. A time traveler, random things, because it's the show is actually set in the future. I should probably mention that. I describe it as Thundar the Barbarian stage show. So it's kind of super science mixed with fantasy, so you can do pretty much anything. And at some point in the show, the main character needs people to come with him to fulfill whatever the main goal of the show is, like a mission they have to go on or something they have to retrieve. And that's where they call up the audience members and kind of like weave them into the story, like, oh, I happen to have found these people at the brothel. And then they basically go from scene to scene, led by the main character, who tries to push them to take as much charge as they can in the show.
Okay, so
Is that too long?
you mentioned people create their own characters, and so obviously I guess they cosplay.
Yeah.
So at Anime Expo, we have a lot of people who cosplay as characters
So I
from
hear.
anime and video. So can they
Yeah.
enter those characters if they're playing something non-original? Like if I want to be Naruto, can I enter as Naruto?
I don't see why you couldn't. As long as there's not two Naruto, and then you got a problem.
But then you can have like twin Naruto.
That would
Actually,
be
that would be
fun.
hilarious.
Yeah,
yes.
that
If
would
there's
be pretty
5
fun.
Naruto on stage, then
Does
Naruto
he have
won.
like a power where he like combines into like multiple versions of himself
true.
anyways?
He
There
can
you
make
go.
that
So you can
happen.
have like just all of them on stage.
Yes.
That would be hilarious.
As long as you're
I
in
actually
character,
wanted
that's
to
all
see
we
that.
ask. Just stick to your character. and
So
you're good.
how do the audience members, like, do they know what to do in each scene? Because obviously they have not read the scripts and
No,
they don't
they
know
have
what's
not.
going on. Like how does an audience
again, that's
participate
the,
and deal with it?
Well, the guide, the main character, basically helps to set up the scene and to kind of push them, as well as the other actors on stage. Like, for example, they needed to get these ceremonial robes before they could infiltrate this cult once. So they had to go visit somebody who had a collection of these robes. So they go there, and we had these giant puppets that we had built that were these half-toad, half-men creatures. And then the main guy they don't want to talk to him, so he's just like, all right, fine. Well, any of you guys want to, who's good with negotiations? And then somebody will step forward and be like, all right, hello. And then we'll push them if we have to.
Okay, so it's kind of it's up to the audience members to solve these problems.
Yes, we try not to railroad it, otherwise what's the point? I mean, we like to let them have as much to shine, basically. I mean, a lot of
Okay.
people want to come to be like
So how is this not like a LARP?
It's not. It's on a stage for once. We have an audience that a lot of people who come to the show are like, I just want to watch, which is creepy, but they like to watch. They guide the whole. They run through the whole thing. Like I said, there's rehearsals. We have actual actors. In a LARP, you have when I LARPed, you have your multiple storytellers, people who kind of guide along. They have their own story and they kind of guide things into their own way, and they have rules. There's a lot of you can't go out of character in this because you're on stage.
Right.
If you do, then that's bad.
Yeah.
That's very bad. People paid money to watch you.
Yeah. So for the people who want to participate, who are thinking, "Hey, that sounds like a lot of fun. I want to be in the show." How do they join up? Like they don't just get to run on stage, do they?
No. Like I said,
what's the process?
Well, you fill out a card. We choose about 6 people per party, and we do a backstage. We usually will have people who've come before and people who've never been there. We want to have at least a good mix, because otherwise you have people who have no idea. Sorry, they have people who have no idea what they're doing, and then they just kind of just stare into space and drool. And then you want to have no offense. You want to have
It happens.
in a good way. And then you have people who've been there the whole time. You usually have like 3 or 4 types. You have the people who drool. You have the people who kind of take over too much, where it's like they're in every scene. They're like, "Oh, I've got this." We want to try to temper them. That's also the guys. He just wants to be like, "Why don't we let one of these quieter people?"
Okay.
And then you have people who are very cool and are like, "Oh, I'm not really good at this, but I think that one of the other members of the party would love to." And they like kind of push the quieter ones forward. And
Okay. So everyone will pretty much have a chance to shine on stage and solve a problem and do
when
something
they
like
call them down, they actually pull the cards out, and they call all 6 down, by the way, and then we stop it there, and it's always like, who's gonna get up? Who's gonna get up? And sometimes people are clearly in very elaborate costumes, and we always feel a little bad when they don't get up on stage.
Aw.
And you can kind of see it. It's like winning the Oscar or not winning the Oscar. Sorry.
No, it's still a lot of fun though. So I noticed in your video, some of your cast members appear to be some people in the anime voiceover
Yes,
industry.
it is true.
Tell us about that. What stars do you have?
You may
who
have
are gonna
noticed
appear in your show?
Mercer's up there.
Who?
Matt Mercer. I'm just going with the last name.
Okay, well,
We got a
our
lot of
audience does know who these people are.
Matthew
so
Mercer is in the show, as well as Taliesin Jaffe.
who was a guest of honor at Anime Expo last year.
Yes,
Yes.
I noticed that. Yes.
Will they be in the show for this year?
Yes, they're all. As soon as I said, "Hey, we're going to be at Anime Expo," they were like, "Sweet." They're
Awesome.
very excited, and they're excited to do whatever panels we're asked to do, any stage combat or improv panels. So
Cool. So
Yeah.
you folks at home who are coming to Anime Expo will have a chance to participate and be in a show with Matthew Mercer and Taliesin Jaffe. How cool
You
is
can
that?
touch
I think that's
them.
pretty awesome.
You could touch them.
inappropriately too.
Oh,
Well, if we have your
Sign me
permission.
You
up.
can tell them I told you to do that. They'll love it. Just don't follow Taliesin into the bathroom again.
again. Okay.
It's a thing.
Where are we going with this interview?
Sorry.
This is weird. Now, do you know yet when and where you'll be at Anime Expo? Where?
No, they're still ironing that out. They said,
Okay.
tell them that you will be there, but we don't know.
Okay, so we don't know the venue or the time yet.
Yeah, we're
so
still
where?
doing scheduling.
Yeah. So
yeah,
then,
it's
where
tight.
can people go to get information about Adventure in the meantime? If they kind of want to, if they're like, "Hey, this sounds like something I want to try," where can they keep track of that aside from AnimeExpo.org?
Oh yeah. Well, Twitter phobes. I know you got your Twitter feeds up there.
Yes.
It's Adventure Stage, at Adventure Stage,
Mm-hmm.
one word. On Facebook, it is facebook.com/Adventure Theater, also one word. Click on that and you'll see we post the videos. Every show that we do, we record and then we edit it down to 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how many. It's really hard to make it less than 15, but we do it sometimes. And then we put it up online so you can people who don't go can catch up. And so they're not totally lost, because it's actually a sequential, like, it's all a longer story arc for all.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Every episode is all part of a larger story.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And Adventure, it's currently running in Los
Yes.
Angeles right now. This is your first season, right?
Yes.
Okay. And how long will this be going for?
We're only, surprisingly, our final show will be, I think, the day before Anime Expo.
Oh, okay. So, so when's the next one? If people want to come out and see Adventure before even Anime Expo starts, when can they
May
do that?
30th.
Okay.
We are the final Wednesday of the month. I know I have a flyer, if they can pop that up there.
Show the flyer.
We have a
Do we have a flyer?
It's going to take them
No,
a minute to
there's
find
no
it.
flyer,
I'll
I
just have
lied.
to. We'll just come
I'm
up
a
with
dirty
another
liar.
question to ask you.
They're gonna
while they
cycle through.
Search through for the flyer.
Yeah, it's in Pico and Crenshaw area. It's right across the street from Roscoe's
Okay.
Chicken and Waffles.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
big draw, and Okie Dog.
Okay, so
That's
they
good,
can just kind of come and see it and preview it. So
I'd recommend it. Yeah, and they can. Okay, I lied. I didn't. Apparently, I put
Aw.
it in the one I think I mailed.
he
so.
he said he brought a flyer. and
Sorry,
he did, and that's okay.
I made it.
That's
Oh,
okay.
you know, don't even look. I didn't.
I love how
Show
all
'em
the
fish.
channels like chicken and waffles.
Really?
Yeah.
you
you
can
guys
do
have
that
been, right?
after the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go to Okie Dog before, and that's shocking. I don't know if you've had an Okie Dog. Won't waste your time with it, but it's okay. I will. It's 2 hot dogs, pastrami, chili, cheese wrapped in a burrito.
Okay, so on the screen, what are
Sounds
these fish
ridiculous.
thingies?
This, I'll give away the scene. This is Josh, one of our cast members and puppeteers. He, because we have multimedia show. We have video, we have sound, we have puppets. That episode, they actually go to, I believe the title of the episode was "Meanwhile in Neo Tokyo," and they go to the future version of Tokyo, which is actually like an island prison, like an Escape from New York. And at one point, they have to sneak into like this main area, this base, and they go through the tunnels, and somebody warns them, "Watch out for the killer koi." So if you in the they freaked them out too on stage. They didn't know. They're like, "What?" So
Killer
you don't know
koi.
what you're getting into. If you see in the video, if you remember the video, we actually had long blue sheets to indicate like water. And as they're kind of wading through the water, then actors dressed in black with those massive cardboard evil-looking fish come out, and basically if they bump into you, they devour you. And
Oh.
they just one guy got devoured, and the rest of the party walked away. He was like, "Help!" And they're like, "We will remember you. Let's go."
So wait, so
He's like, "What?"
wait, so can the audience members actually die in the show?
Yes. Good news
that?
is there's sort of a magic
Oh, okay.
aspect. I probably should have mentioned that.
Okay, well, explain how that works. Does it sound like
I got a little thing here. This is something we call the widget.
AKA a prop?
Little super science. It's prop. It falls apart every show. There's a lot more to it. It looks like crap now. But we give it basically to the party. Anything they want to do. If you remember in the video, a guy did a silly sounding a couplet, 2 rhyming couplets. And so if you hold down the button, come up with a couplet. He brought his party back to life with that one. It has
okay.
10 charges. It's charged in the first episode. We actually go to get more fuel rods for it because it only gets 10 charges, and we had to get a whole bunch, and that was like a whole plot point. And yeah, you can do pretty much anything you want. Only once per time, so you can only do like 1 resurrect, and then you're shot. You
So
got no
that's
more.
like another element of the chaos that's in the show. Because
Basically,
you
yeah.
never know when someone's going to cast a magic thingy with the magic rod of what's-its.
In that particular one, his phrasing was bad. The widget actually talks. We have
It's a talking widget.
it's a talking widget. My wife actually is up in the booth. If you saw, they all got attacked by bats when they're on a raft, and then the widget goes, "Scanning, Claire has rabies," and then to help it goes, "Symptoms of rabies include foaming at the mouth," and then she's just like, and aquaphobia, and we're on a raft. She's like, "Yeah!" So it interprets your spells. He threw a spell that says, "I would like to have my party members reborn." So it goes, "Scanning, detecting children." So the rest of his party came back. They were unfortunately all toddlers.
Oh, so all the audience members then became babies.
If they
instead-
walked
and
up
they
on
just kind of
stage-
rolled with it? They
Yeah,
were fine
one guy was playing a hologram. He was he was playing a computer.
Okay.
So he goes, "Now running Windows 95," which got a big laugh from the audience.
All right. Well, this sounds extremely fun and
fun for us
extremely
as well.
silly, and we are definitely looking forward to checking this out at Anime Expo. Michael, thank you so much for joining us and telling us
Thanks
all
for
about
letting me
adventure.
ramble.
For more, make sure, like you said, follow them on Twitter at Adventure Stage and Facebook.com/Adventure Theater.
Yes.
And there you can find more information about the show and check out the videos and see a
wikis
little more
and
about it.
videos.
So think about who you want to play, and when we find out when the show is, we will let you know, and
Yeah.
definitely come and check that out.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Last
What?
thing.
One more thing? Yeah.
Do people show up with weapons sometimes? Or I know that's a thing.
Oh,
Prop
Like
weapons?
prop, not
Yeah.
real
Prop-
weapons.
yeah.
yeah, people
prop-
do cosplay. with
Certain
weapons.
prop weapons are allowed.
Okay.
Yeah.
We actually do have combat in the show. It's all done in slow motion,
Okay, so like this.
so it's safe. Exactly, yes. We have a little speech in the beginning
Awesome.
saying, "Everything you're watching is a dramatization. I've slowed down the combat so you can make it out. If it's fast, apparently it's a glitch and ignore it."
And sounds
Yeah.
kind of dangerous.
Also, well, clearly it's dangerous, but you have
So-
to make it in the context.
All right, so if people want to bring a weapon, do they?
Well, you can
is that
test
allowed?
it out on my head personally before the
Okay,
show.
good to know. Good to
and
know.
we'll see if
Bring
it's
your
safe.
weapons, people. We'll test it on
Yeah.
Coleman's head. Awesome.
I'll do Cody if you hit me in the head.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was Cody in Street Fighter, so he'll do that voice. There we
fall.
go. That's a reason enough to go check this out.
Yep.
Yes,
At
come,
Anime
come
Expo.
beat me up.
Awesome. Well, thank you once again
Yes,
for
thank
joining
you.
us. This was
Thank
a
you.
lot of fun. Looking forward to it.
Yep.